All right, so are you ready to dive into something pretty interesting?
Always.
Today we're taking a look at this article. It's called Older Men Win Young Women's Attention with This.
Catchy title.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
right off the bat, I gotta say, this can be a sensitive topic.
For sure.
But our goal here is not to, like, tell anyone what to think or anything like that.
Right.
It's more about kind of breaking down what the article's saying.
Taking it apart.
Yeah, and seeing what we can all learn from it.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I first saw the title, I was thinking, like, cheesy pickup artist tricks,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but it actually gets into some pretty fascinating stuff.
It does.
About maturity, confidence.
Even fashion.
Yeah, oh yeah, they even talk about watches, like having a nice watch.
A statement piece.
Yeah, so let's see what we can learn.
Oh, good.
So right away, the article says it's not actually about the age itself,
Okay.
but what age often represents.
Mm-hmm.
So things like maturity,
Maturity, yeah.
stability, knowing who you are.
Yeah, knowing yourself, yeah.
It even uses this analogy of an older man being like a rare gem.
A rare gem.
Someone who's been through life's ups and downs.
And come out stronger.
Yeah, and come out stronger on the other side.
Right.
I kind of get that,
Like they've had some time
Yeah, like someone's had time to figure things
to
out.
learn some lessons.
But is there any actual science behind this? Like, is there any research that shows that those qualities are, like, inherently more attractive?
That's a good question. There's a lot of psychology at play here. There's definitely research showing that things like, emotional regulation, basically, being able to handle your emotions maturely, and resilience bouncing back from tough times,
Right?
those are seen as attractive qualities.
Yeah,
But the thing is,
yeah.
those traits aren't exclusive to older men, are they?
No, definitely not.
Right.
I know plenty of younger guys who are super emotionally mature,
Exactly.
and some older guys who are, well, not so much.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe it's more about the individual than their age.
I think so.
What do you think, listener?
Yeah. Have you found this to be true in your own experience?
And what about that rare gem analogy?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It plays into this idea that something scarce is more desirable.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's just one perspective.
Right.
And we need to think critically about these claims.
Okay, so let's move on to the next point the article makes, which is communication.
Okay.
It basically says that older men are better communicators.
Oh, boy.
Which, come on, that's a pretty big generalization.
Huge generalization, yeah. I have to agree with you there. It's definitely a sweeping statement.
For sure.
But the article does raise a good point
Okay.
about the importance of communication in relationships.
Yeah.
As we get older, we often get better at expressing ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and truly listening,
Yes.
which are crucial skills for any healthy relationship.
Right. I think we've all been in those situations where someone just isn't listening.
Ugh, it's so frustrating.
It's super frustrating.
our worst.
So yeah, good communication is definitely key, no matter your age.
Absolutely. And it's about being able to connect on a deeper level
Yeah.
and really understand each other,
Mm-hmm.
which is attractive regardless of how many birthdays you celebrate.
Okay. Get ready for this one.
Okay.
The article actually gets into fashion advice.
Oh, wow.
It says things like polished shoes,
Okay.
well-fitting jeans,
Right.
and a nice watch
Mm-hmm.
are all part of the appeal.
Interesting.
Honestly, I'm more of a jeans and t-shirt kind of person,
Sure.
but I get the idea that putting effort into your appearance can show you care.
Right. It's like you're making an effort.
Yeah.
What's interesting here is that it's not necessarily about conforming to some rigid standard of beauty,
Okay.
but more about showing that you put effort into yourself. It's like sending a signal that you value self-care
Right.
and want to make a good impression.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But honestly, the watch thing really threw me off.
The watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that really a big deal when it comes to attraction?
It's an interesting point.
Or is this just the article trying to sell us something?
I think a watch can be a symbol.
Okay.
It might represent success or attention to detail or even
Mm.
just a certain style.
Yep.
But how much weight people put on that really depends on their own preferences
Right.
and what they find attractive. What about you, listener? Do you notice things like watches?
Mm. All right, so moving on from fashion.
Okay.
The article goes on to talk about maturity beyond years.
Maturity beyond years, okay?
Yeah, something about being a rock for someone.
A rock, okay.
Handling life's ups and downs gracefully.
Handling those ups and downs.
Yeah.
And this actually ties back to what we were talking about earlier
Okay.
with emotional regulation
Right.
and resilience.
Yeah.
Those are definitely qualities that can make someone more attractive
Hmm.
because they show stability and the ability to navigate challenges.
But does that mean you have to be super serious all the time
That's a good question.
to be seen as mature?
Yeah.
I feel like relationships should also be about having fun
Of course, yeah.
and being playful. Right.
Absolutely. And the article does acknowledge that balance is important.
Okay.
It talks about being able to handle the serious stuff
Yeah.
while still being able to relax, have fun, and be spontaneous.
Yeah, like finding that sweet spot between being responsible
Right.
and knowing how to let loose.
Exactly.
And this makes me wonder, what does maturity actually mean to you, listener?
Yeah. Is it always a good thing?
Or can it sometimes be a negative?
Interesting. That's a really insightful question for our listeners to think about.
Yeah.
Because maturity can look different to different people.
Right.
And what one person finds attractive,
Yeah.
another might not.
Totally.
It's really about finding compatibility in terms of your values and expectations.
Yeah, for
And if you're
sure.
on the same page.
All right, so we've talked about maturity, communication, even what to wear.
Fashion advice.
Now, the article dives into something I think a lot of people struggle with, confidence. It says confidence is like a magnet,
Okay.
but not in an arrogant way.
Right.
It's more about knowing your own worth.
Self-assuredness.
Yeah, but isn't confidence something you either have or you don't?
You know, that's a common misconception.
Really?
Confidence isn't necessarily something you're born with.
Mm.
It's something you can build over time.
Okay.
And what's really interesting
Yeah.
is that we often think that confidence comes after success.
Right, like you're successful, so you're confident.
Exactly. But research actually shows that it can be the other way around.
Oh, wow.
If you act confident,
Okay.
even if you don't feel it at first,
Mm-hmm.
it can lead to taking risks,
Right?
going after opportunities.
Yeah.
And that can actually lead to success.
Oh, so it's like
It's a positive feedback loop.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's not just about like faking it till you make it,
Not just faking it, no.
but like actually changing your behavior
Yeah.
to like boost your confidence.
Exactly.
I bet a lot of our listeners would love to know like
Yeah.
how to do that.
Yeah. What are some tips for actually doing that?
Yeah.
Well, one of the most effective things you can do is focus on your strengths.
Okay.
What are you good at?
Mhm.
What have you accomplished?
Yeah.
Even small things.
Right?
Celebrating those wins,
Yeah.
no matter how tiny,
Uh-huh.
can really help.
Okay.
Another big one is stepping outside your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Every time you face a fear
Okay.
or try something new,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's a little scary,
Yeah.
it builds that sense of, I can handle this.
It's like you're proving to yourself you're capable of more than you think.
Exactly.
But speaking of comfort zones,
Yeah.
this article goes on to say that while being approachable is important,
Okay.
you should also maintain an air of mystery.
An air of mystery.
Yeah, and that sounds kind of like a recipe for mixed signals to me.
That's tricky, yeah.
What do you think, listener?
Yeah, have you ever been drawn to someone who is a bit of an enigma?
So this article's trying to walk this fine line
It is, yeah.
between vulnerability
Right.
and intrigue.
It's tough to balance those things.
Yeah, and like holding something back can be alluring.
It can. Yeah.
Think about those classic movie characters. They're always so charming.
Yeah, they got that mystique.
Yeah.
But mysterious.
But in real life,
yeah.
there's a danger of that crossing over into like playing games.
Yeah.
Which is never healthy.
Exactly. It's like, where do you draw that line between being intriguing
Yeah, where's that line?
and just being emotionally unavailable?
That's a great question. Maybe it's about like having your own life and passion
Right.
while still being open to connecting with someone.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a balancing act.
It's about finding that balance.
Right.
Between being like a complete open book
Yeah, you don't want to give it all away right away.
and being so closed off
Right.
that no one can get to know you.
Yeah.
You have to let people in a little bit.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit here.
All right.
The article also talks about the kind of experiences you share with someone.
Experiences, yeah.
It argues that older men can offer more than just partying.
More than just partying, okay.
They can plan dates that are more meaningful,
Mm-hmm.
more adventurous.
That's interesting. This kind of taps into a really important aspect of relationships.
Okay.
The power of shared experiences. When
Yeah.
you do something fun or exciting together, especially something new,
Yeah.
it creates a bond.
It does.
You have those shared memories, those inside jokes,
Oh, yeah.
and it strengthens your connection.
I went on a date once
Oh, yeah.
where the guy surprised me with a hike
Oh, wow.
to watch the sunrise from a mountaintop.
That's amazing.
It was so unexpected
Yeah.
and beautiful.
Wow.
And we definitely bonded over that experience.
That's great. What about you, listener?
Yeah, what kind of dates or activities have you found to be like the most memorable?
And that actually brings us to another key point the article covered.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about grand gestures.
Right.
But those little things that show you're paying attention
Mm-hmm.
and that you genuinely care.
It's like saying, I see you and I want to make you happy
Exactly.
without actually saying it.
Right.
And those small gestures
Yeah.
can mean so much more
So much more.
than like a generic gift or something impersonal.
For sure.
Along with effort, the article really stresses honesty
Oh,
about your intention.
intentions. Yeah.
Being upfront about what you're looking for in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's something casual or something more serious,
Right.
is crucial for building trust and avoiding hurt feelings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so important to be on the same page.
Yeah, I think we've all been in a situation
We all have, yeah.
where someone wasn't clear about what they wanted,
Ugh, it's the worst.
and it just ends up causing like drama and confusion.
So much drama.
It's always better to be open and direct from the start.
Just put it out there.
Even if it feels kind of awkward at first,
Yeah, it's better in the long run.
it's about respecting yourself
Respecting yourself, yeah.
and the other person enough to be honest about your needs and expectations.
Totally. And speaking of respect,
Yeah.
the article circles back to effort one last time,
Okay.
emphasizing the power of those small, thoughtful gestures to show you care.
Like what kind of things?
It could be sending a text to say good morning,
All right.
remembering a special occasion,
Right.
or just truly listening when they're talking.
Yeah.
Those things might seem small,
Mm-hmm.
but they speak volumes.
Yeah. It's like those little things become a way of saying, I value you and this connection,
Right.
which is something we all want,
We all want that.
no matter how old we are, what kind of relationship we're looking for.
Exactly. And it reminds us that building strong relationships takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ongoing process of showing up, being present,
Yeah.
and genuinely wanting to connect on a deeper level.
Okay, so let's take a step back. Okay. And look at the big picture here.
Big picture.
We've gone through a lot of the points from this article.
We have
Maturity, confidence, communication,
putting in the effort.
putting in effort. It's like,
It's a whole recipe.
yeah, like a whole roadmap for being a better partner.
Yeah.
But it's not really about age itself, is it?
You're right. The age thing is almost a distraction.
Yes.
What the article is really getting at is highlighting qualities that can make anyone more attractive
Right.
and a better partner,
Yeah.
regardless of when they were born.
And, you know, here's something that wasn't explicitly mentioned in the article,
Okay.
but it kept popping into my head as we were talking.
Yeah. What's that?
It seems like these qualities,
Okay.
maturity, emotional intelligence, being able to communicate openly,
Yeah.
those are even more important in today's world,
I agree.
where everything feels so fast-paced
And chaotic.
and chaotic. Yeah.
I think you've hit on something really insightful there. As our lives get more complex and demanding, the ability to navigate relationships with empathy, understanding, and a strong sense of self becomes even more valuable.
Wow.
It's like in a world that often feels uncertain,
Right.
people are craving that sense of connection and stability.
So maybe this article isn't just about who we're attracted to,
Interesting.
but about what kind of partners we're all striving to become.
Yeah, like what qualities are we working towards?
Yeah. Partners who are present, communicative,
Mm-hmm.
and genuinely care about each other's well-being.
That's a beautiful way to frame it.
Yeah.
And I think that message resonates far beyond the specific dynamics this article explored. It's a reminder of the importance of human connection
Yeah.
and the qualities that allow those connections to flourish.
Well, there you have it, listener.
That's it.
We've unpacked, analyzed,
You did it.
and maybe even debunked some of the claims in this article about older men and attraction.
Yeah, it was a good one.
But I hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought
Some things to think about.
about what truly matters in relationships.
Exactly.
It goes way beyond age or any rules about attraction.
And hopefully you're walking away with some questions to ponder.
Yeah.
What qualities do you find most attractive in a partner?
Mm.
And how can you cultivate those same qualities within yourself?
Right.
Not to attract someone else, but to become the best version of you.
That's a fantastic point to end on.
It is.
So until next time,
Yeah.
keep exploring, keep questioning,
Keep learning.
and keep those deep dive conversations going.
Absolutely.